Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Today has been an exciting day of Bison football, and with the game over, fans are headed out to continue the fun and celebrate their first win of the season. Valley News Team's Katie Opperly joins us live from downtown Fargo, where the city is buzzing. Katie, what's going on down there?
Yeah, Melanie, we're in downtown Fargo where people are pouring in after the opening season game of Bison football. They're also out and about, and it's expected that a lot of people will be out and about celebrating the start of football season. Along with it being the first game of the season, it's also Labor Day weekend, which means people are on the roads coming in and out of town. Fargo police want to remind people to drive responsibly and sober. Plan ahead and make sure you have a designated driver or utilize one of the companies like Uber or Lyft that ensures you get home safely. Make sure you tune into the 9 and 10 o'clock show where we'll tell you how you can get a safe ride home free of charge. For now, in downtown Fargo, Katie Opperly. Melanie?
Thank you, Katie, for that live report. And Alex Egan will have all the details around the Bison's first game and reaction later on in the newscast. And it was a beautiful day here in the Valley today, especially for Bison football and tailgating. Let's see how the rest of our Saturday night is looking with meteorologist Justin Fanfarelli. Justin?
Thank you, Melanie. Good evening, everybody. Temperatures slightly warm for this time of year now that we're into the month of September. We're seeing current temperatures now ranging from the mid-70s out toward Jamestown all the way into the upper 70s. Into the Southern Valley, Lakes Country, upper 70s, into the Devil's Lake Basin and Northern Valley, mid to upper 70s, into northwestern Minnesota. Increasing winds will be the story from west to east across the region. Light winds in Minnesota out toward Devil's Lake and Jamestown. Winds 20 to 30 miles per hour. Nice southerly wind. We have a front back toward western North Dakota. Some showers and thunderstorms out that way. Heading towards us, we're going to see an increase in the clouds. Now, we're going to stay mainly dry through the evening. Temperatures falling through the 60s. With a chance of some showers and thunderstorms overnight to mid-morning on Sunday. And then we're going to clear out again. We'll tell you what to expect for Labor Day. That's coming up later in the newscast.
Okay, but expect some showers later tonight, it sounds like?
Yeah, it looks like most evening plans will be okay. It'll probably be around the daybreak hours morning on Sunday.
Okay, thank you, Justin.
I would just be devastated if I picked up the paper one day and read that somebody in 113, that's the unit number, had 2 or 3 kids and one passed away.
A Fargo man has had enough. He contacted our whistleblower hotline saying that his living conditions are terrible, and he tells us his landlord has done nothing to help. The man, along with his girlfriend, say they are living in an apartment filled with toxic mold, and they claim the conditions are costing them a lot of money in medical bills. Valley News Team's Joseph Ojo spoke with the man about the mold issues he is dealing with and shares why this man does not want this story to fall on deaf ears.
Kevin Story has lived in his apartment for over 2 years, but he says when it rained on June 3rd, his apartment had become far from the safe haven he once believed it was.
Burning throat, ears, coughing, congestion, drainage, sick to the stomach, sometimes a little more.
Those symptoms are from what he says is the toxic mold that has plagued his apartment. I was able to witness it firsthand, and during our interview, I had to step out for some fresh air.
They're not clean and they got mold in them. There's nothing you can do. Basically, when we leave here, we have to throw just about everything away.
And Story isn't exaggerating about throwing everything away. He tells us the mold has eaten away at expensive pieces of art, and he says beneath his carpet is filled with mold, and many of his personal property, like clothes and furniture, are all damaged.
We have the right to a habitable place, a place that the carpeting doesn't get wet every few days, safe, healthy. It's not.
So Story went to his landlord, and he says the landlord told him he was the reason for the mold. Now Story is still in that apartment, and he tells us his landlord says he has to stay there until his lease is up.
Get out of here and get well. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. That's what we want.
Story says even if he finds a new place, the damage is already done. But now he wants others like college students and families with young kids to see his story on his apartment, number 113.
They're not going to remediate this. They're not going to take the mold out of the walls. They're not going to take the mold out of under the carpeting. They're not going to fix things. They're not going to fix the floor that's broken, that water gets through.
In Fargo, Joseph Ojo, Valley News Live.
And documents show that a mold tester did confirm Story has 7 different types of toxic mold packed in the wall and air conditioner. We reached out to Campbell Properties to get in touch with the landlord for a statement on the matter, and we have yet to hear back from them. And as mentioned, this story came to us through our whistleblower hotline. If you need help uncovering fraud and corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline and we'll do our best to get to the bottom of it. You can call 701-237-6576 and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. A 25-year-old Grand Forks man has been arrested for driving under the influence after being involved in a 3-vehicle accident this afternoon. Police say it happened at 2400 South Columbia Road. Witnesses say 25-year-old Michael Torrey Jr. was weaving in and out of traffic at a high rate of speed. That's when he struck a car driven by a 17-year-old Grand Forks resident, which was stopped at a stoplight. That car then hit a Ford F-150 driven by 23-year-old Brock Amundsen of East Grand Forks. Torrey was arrested for driving under the influence, driving with a suspended license, and reckless driving. He was also cited for open container. The other drivers involved are believed to have suffered non-life-threatening injuries. And criminal charges will not be filed in a crash that resulted in the death of 2 children in Grand Forks County. The county state's attorney office has declined charges against Trista Curry and Michael Soyring, both of Fargo. On March 25th, the 2 drivers were involved in a crash on I-29 that caused the death of Curry's 2 sons, 9-year-old Camden and 1-year-old Maxwell. Curry and her 3-year-old daughter Avalon were hurt in the crash. The state's attorney's office concluded that Soyring was driving his semi in a reasonable manner, taking into consideration road and weather conditions. There was also no evidence of distracted driving on his part, and post-crash inspections revealed no equipment problems. The investigation also showed that Curry had properly seated and secured her kids, and there was no evidence of distracted driving on her part either. And a Cass County, Minnesota woman that was missing all morning has been found by police. Officials were searching for 42-year-old Heather Horn, and as of this afternoon, police say she has been located. They also say the public is no longer needed to help find her. And a North Dakota high school student has been arrested for stabbing a teacher with a pencil. It happened Friday morning in Jamestown. Police say the 15-year-old student was removed from the classroom and arrested on suspicion of aggravated assault and was referred to juvenile court for pending charges. Based on the initial investigation, the remaining students and faculty were not in immediate danger. The teacher was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. A new study says people who take less vacation time have a higher chance of dying. Yep, you heard that right. That's coming up later on Valley News Live at 6. And thousands of people packed the National Cathedral today to pay their respects to John McCain and his family. We'll have much more on McCain's memorial service right after the break.
You're watching Valley News Live on TV, online, and on the go. Always on, wherever you are, whenever you need to know. Valley News Live. You're watching Valley News Live on KVLY, your hometown NBC station.
When it comes to your health, you want a company that's been around the block a few times. Because you know you can't predict the future, but you can prepare for it. For 85 years, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota has been here for whatever tomorrow brings. So keep doing your thing and let us protect your health. You're not new to this, and neither are we. You and Blue.
People not from around here are often surprised that Casey's Pizza is so incredibly delicious. They say they didn't know you could get the best tasting, freshest baked pizza from a convenience store. Please, we're not just a convenience store. We're the best tasting, freshest baked pizza joint you'll totally love that just happens to conveniently have everything else you need too. Right now, get 2 made from scratch, large single topping pizzas for $9.99 each. Casey's, famous for pizza.
Discover out-of-this-world thrills at Shooting Star Mahnomen with big fun and big games. And this month, big mileage with our Super Cash Highway giveaways. Saturdays in September are your chance to win cash. Plus, on Saturday, September 29th, you could win the grand prize, a 2018 Indian Chief Dark Horse motorcycle. Shooting Star Casino Mahnomen. Big thrills, big fun, and big excitement. Visit starcasino.com.
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, Slumberland's 3-day doorbuster sale. You'll get up to 70% off. Get this comfy dual reclining sofa for just $565. That's 62% off. And there's lots more, like your choice of accent chairs in 2 colors, just $98. Pay no interest for 4 years. But hurry, quantities are limited. The 3-day doorbuster sale at Slumberland. It's a good life.
Getting scammed? Call the Whistleblower Hotline.
A somber day in Washington as many pause to remember Senator John McCain. Former Presidents Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton among thousands who packed the National Cathedral to pay their respects. NBC's Blaine Alexander has more details from the emotional service.
After one final ride through Washington with a stop at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, Senator John McCain honored for more than 60 years of service.
He was a great warrior. He was a great American. I admired him for all of these things, but I love him because he was a great father.
Every detail handpicked by the senator, including eulogies by the 2 men who ended his path to the Oval Office.
After all, what better way to get a last laugh than to make George and I say nice things about him to a national audience?
Both with a lesson about putting aside differences.
In the end, I got to enjoy one of life's great gifts, the friendship of John McCain.
I never tried to hide, and I think John came to understand the long-standing admiration that I had for him.
Inside the cathedral, a who's who of Washington politics, notably missing President Trump, not invited or mentioned by name, but not ignored.
The America of John McCain has no need to be made great again because America was always great.
Many viewing Senator McCain's memorial as his final act of service.
John's voice will always come as a whisper over our shoulder. We are better than this.
A lasting message for the country he leaves behind. Blaine Alexander, NBC News, Washington.
This is the last of the public tributes. Tomorrow, Senator McCain will be laid to rest during a private ceremony and burial at his alma mater, the U.S. Naval Academy. As citizens across the U.S. mourn the loss of Arizona Senator John McCain, one Minnesota family reflects on a special moment they shared with him. The Valdivia family in Rochester has many ties to the U.S. Navy, so much so that Judy Valdivia joined the Naval Academy as a blue and gold officer. During that time, she not only got a chance to attend an event where McCain was speaking, but even got the opportunity to sit right next to him.
The closest empty seat to where he was giving a speech, so I guess he just had to sit there, and lucky me, I was there. I think he just epitomizes what I think a true American really is or should be, with honesty and truthfulness, bravery.
Valdivia says McCain thanked her for her and her family's service, and their conversation alone made a lasting impression. Not taking any vacation time, new research says that could be bad for your health. That's coming up later on Valley News Live at 6.
And a high of 79 today, slightly warm for this time of year. We're dry so far. That could change tomorrow morning. Details coming up next.